everybody, and welcome to my Four Boys and an Little Girl podcast. My name is Patty, and I am here for the first time in ages to talk about knitting and Knitlantica, the knitting, crocheting, and handmaking retreats that I hold in September, which is why I have been so late getting a podcast off to you. So this is a podcast that's going to be a little bit different from my usual format. I'm going to show you after a series of video and pictures from the two Knitlantica retreats that I held. I'm going to show you kind of a vlog, sort of a combination just of still photos and videos of the retreats. So if you're interested in the retreat, an Knitlantica retreat in the future, you can have a look at that. And then after that, so if you don't want to see the retreat information, then you'll have to fast forward a little bit and come back to where I'm sitting in my chair. And I will show you some of the things I purchased at Knitlantica, one of the lovely presents that I received at Knitlantica, and some of the things that I was working on at Knitlantica. I'm also going to show you this gorgeous sweater that I finished before the retreat and that I just love. And I'll talk more about that afterwards. So I hope you enjoy the next few minutes of video and still pictures from the 13th to the 15th of September and the 27th to the 29th of September Knitlantica retreats. See you in a minute. Hi everybody, and welcome to a little vlog I'm going to do of my second Knitlantica weekend 2019. My name is Patty. I am coming to you right now from the first person in line for the 1:30 ferry on the way over to Belle Island. The next ferry is just coming in, and I'm just sitting here. I've got my ticket purchased, just sitting here waiting for the ferry to dock and for us to get loaded. I thought it might be fun to do a little vlog so that anybody who's interested in the knitting, crocheting, and handmakers retreat to have a look at what we get up to at one of the retreats. So here I am to show you a little bit about it. So the first thing you have to do If you, once you are in Newfoundland, or if you're coming from Newfoundland, that's great too, but if you're coming from away, first thing you have to do when you get to Newfoundland is get on another ferry to head to another island, and that's Bell Island. So that's where I'm heading to right now. The return trip for a passenger, one adult, plus your vehicle is $14. That's for a return, and so that's fairly reasonable. And if you get stuck, sorry, there's people going by wondering why I'm talking to myself. And if you get stuck like I did, missing the ferry you were trying to catch, you can always take out your knitting and get a head start on the project that you're working on this weekend. I am working on a cute little baby sweater for a brand new niece of mine. And I guess I'm going to have to go because I think they're soon going to load the ferry. I'll chat soon. Bye. So I made it on the ferry. I am now looking, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Show me? No, I can't do it. Sorry. I'm just looking at the ramp. We're about to dock. Met up with one of the participants on the ferry, which was wonderful. The ramp is coming down, so I'm going to turn you around so you can see it. So in a minute, I've got to drive my little car over that. Eek! The only difficult part about going to Knitlantica, driving on and off the ferry. There we go. So here's the Grandma Bonnet Inn on Bell Island, where we stay for the knitting and crocheting and handmaking retreat. And there's a car going by, so you probably can't hear me. So it's just lovely. It's right next to a school, but it's also right next to some beautiful wild roses. The back is all beautiful landscape. And from the rooms, you can see Conception Bay, which it has a little bit of fog in it right now. Upstairs. Show you some of the rooms and the art at the Grandma Bonnet Inn. one of the rooms. Lovely view. Let's go see another one. This one has its own washroom with a shower. Hi. Another one. And then there's the third floor. Let's go up to the third floor. Beautiful dresser. And this was my room for the weekend, so it's a little messy. And the view, oops, just banged into the bed. The view from the back room. Gorgeous. All done. Woohoo! All right, I'm back. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed that kind of montage of how the retreats went. The retreats were fantastic. I am so lucky to have had a wonderful mentor in doing the retreats, and my friend Catherine. Hi, Catherine, over in Ireland. And I am so lucky to have greeted and welcomed so many wonderful women from all over the place. This year, the person who won the furthest away award came from Montreal. Hi, Linda. And that was just great. So we had mainly people from all over Newfoundland and Labrador, mainly the island, actually the island of Newfoundland, but all parts of the island of Newfoundland. So that was great. And what a wonderful bunch of talented, inspiring knitters, ranging from, and that's the nice thing about these retreats, is there's no there's teaching in amongst each other, and I certainly learned as much or more than anybody else at the retreats, because I'm not an advanced knitter, but I got to learn lots. Then there's experienced knitters there. There was Katie Noseworthy from Knit Sprite, who is a Newfoundland Labrador knitwear designer, was there at one of the retreats, at the first one. And so we really had, the gamut of from beginner to advanced knitter at the retreats, which was awesome because everybody's helping each other and everybody has a little tip or trick for somebody else in terms of knitting or crocheting. Or there were some cross stitch, myself and Pam over from Pam's Crafty Corner on Floss Tube. Hi, Pam. We were cross stitching a little bit on the second weekend because that was a handmaker's retreat. And there was, again, lots of knitting and crocheting as well, but we were doing some cross stitching, which was awesome. And apparently we've inspired one or two other people to pick up cross stitching again, who haven't been doing it for a while. One lady was working on tapestry, on a tapestry, and showing us another beautiful tapestry she's working on. Hi, Allison. So it was just a wonderful coming together of like-minded people. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I hope that the attendees that came enjoyed themselves too, and I hope that they'll be able to come again next year. If you're interested in the Knitlantica retreats here in Newfoundland and Labrador on Bell Island, held at the Grand Wabana Inn on Bell Island, they will next year in 2020, I will be hosting on the second weekend of September and the fourth weekend of September. So if you're interested in either one of those, stay tuned. I will not be taking bookings until the new year. And I'm going to take a little break now from the retreats and administration. I'm almost finished the administration for the retreats, and once I get finished, then I'll take a break for a few months before I get into the flurry of retreat booking and deposits and such again. So thank you so much to everyone who attended. I really appreciate it. And I want to share some of the things that I had at the retreats that I was working on. So I'm going to insert here. So before the retreat started, on the 13th to the 15th, I finished this gorgeous sweater that I'm wearing, and I'm going to tip this down just a little bit so you can see a little bit more. It's sparkly in case this isn't showing up, and I'm going to insert some pictures here of this sweater, the full length of the sweater. So this is a June Grass pullover by Carrie Bostick Hogue. I knit it longer than it calls for in the pattern. It calls for it to be quite a bit shorter, but I kept knitting and I only have like threads about this long of the yarn left over. The yarn colorway is I always get this wrong. I always say Tiddlywinks, but it isn't. It's Miss Tiddlemouse from Beatrix Potter. That's awful. I always get those two mixed up. And it's from Elm Tree Yarns in the UK, who is found on Etsy, and I'll put all that information on the screen for you in case you're interested in purchasing from them. The DK base that I used for this is fantastic. I've been wearing this sweater almost nonstop. I haven't even blocked it yet. It is wonderfully soft. I keep thinking I should block this, and I still haven't had taken the opportunity to do so because I'm enjoying wearing it so much. It is 3/4 sleeves. The pattern does call for 3/4 sleeves, I believe, but some of how I did this was probably what I came up with on my own. I love the length. Also looks great with a long sleeve button-up shirt or a t-shirt underneath it. So it's a really versatile pattern. I want to show you some of the things that I was working on at the retreats. I've been doing a lot of cross-stitching leading up to the first Knitlantica retreat, which meant that I have way too many works in progress when it comes to my knitting and my crocheting. And it meant that I had no idea what I wanted to work on for the first or second weekend. So I just kind of threw in a few things that I had on the upper floor of the house, because the lower floor, it also has a plethora of works in progress. And these are some of the things that I put together for the retreat. So this first one is a sweater by Pip and Pin, who are Canadian designers. And let's see if I can get a good picture that doesn't show here we go. So this is the sweater. Now I am going to be knitting mine longer. It's not going to be so much a crop as it's going to fall near my waist. So probably a little shorter than I would normally do, but not as cropped as this one presents. I am using some yarn that I purchased when I was in Ireland by Giddy Ants Yarns. Let's see if I have oh good, I have a ball band. So it's Giddy Ant Yarns, and I'll put that information on the screen. The colorway I'm using is called Woodstock, and this is their Merino Smooth Sock, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I have a lot of yardage on these. I'm very lucky. So here it is. The lace is beautiful, and the colorway is stunning. So I have just finished the lace. Instead of the 3 repeats on the bottom, I did 5. So 5 lace repeats. And what I'm looking forward to doing next is an awful lot of stocking stitch. So that's what I'm doing. I've changed over to the larger needles, and yeah, so I'm working on stocking stitch now. So there it is in all its glory. It's beautiful. And I think, again, this is going to be a very versatile sweater. I will be doing the short sleeves as well, because I am at the stage of life where I am very warm. I do not need a whole lot of extra heat, but I do like an extra sweater or something in the winter. So I'm going to be able to wear that over a long sleeve t-shirt by itself, or over a short sleeve t-shirt. I think that's going to be a wonderfully versatile piece for the winter. And fall and spring. Oh, I got to put my pattern back in the bag. And the bag that this is in is actually by a UK bag maker and designer, Betsy Makes. Can you see that? Will it focus? Don't know if it is or not. That tag. Anyway, it's Betsy Makes, and it's got crocheted circles all over it. It's a drawstring bag. Got this a while ago. It eventually, my sweater is going to grow out of this, but it was great. It's great right now for the start. The other thing I'm going to show you that I was working on is another unfinished piece. I actually don't have the book in front of me. This is from the Zumurgurumi series of books. I think it's number 7, and this one is called Scraps the Seagull. He still needs some work. Poor Scraps doesn't have his wings yet, or his feet, or his tail, or the little tuft of feathers on the top. But this is where I am with Scraps so far. I think he is just adorable. He's so cute. So I'm using Dishy crochet cotton for this, which is a worsted weight cotton. It's nice and firm. He's nice and sturdy. I haven't tried to sit him up yet because I don't have his other pieces completed. But that is, I'm calling him Salty, even though in the book he's called Scraps. I will put the information at the bottom of the screen because I don't want to get up and run for the book right now. But I'm looking forward to getting this finished and having him on display in the house. And this project is actually being held in a Christmas bag. This is one of Caroline at Evertotes. Hi, Caroline. This is one of her, this was her special Christmas kit from last year. And that's fitting, this wedge tote fits a lot. This is the medium-sized wedge tote. And I have Salty. I have this ball of cotton. 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 I have some safety eyes and washers, plus this ball of 100% wool, and it all fits in this bag. Not the book. The book doesn't fit in the bag as well, but it all fits in this bag quite comfortably. So it just goes to show you can fit an awful lot in an Evertote bag. So that's that. I finished a project. So I just got back yesterday from the 27th to the 29th of September Knitlantica retreat, the Handmakers retreat, and I was working really hard to get this project finished. This project is, I'll put the name at the bottom of the screen. I haven't brought that either. Ania, I think. Anyway, I'll put that information at the bottom of the screen. It is a sweater/dress for my newest niece who was born in August. And I used Drops Merino, Merino Baby DK, I think it's called, in the color light pink and sky blue. Although this blue really looks like periwinkle. I've had this blocking. It's still a little bit damp, and I still have to tie up a few stitches at the under the arms here, just to make sure they're not too loose. But here, let's see. Here's the finished piece, and there's going to be buttons here and here at the neckline. But I didn't put those. I blocked it before I sewed on the buttons. So here's the back, a little bit of the shoulder. You see what I mean? The blue, to me, is more of a periwinkle. It's not really a baby blue. So I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm thrilled to have a finished piece from Knitlantica. Yay! So this is going to be going in the mail this week. After it gets fully dried, I fix the sleeve pieces under the arms, and sew the buttons on. Next, you can probably see over here, I have some acquisitions. So I'm going to show you one of each. This was a special to Knitlantica dyed yarn from Elegantly Twisted Yarns, who is a Newfoundland Labrador indie dyer out in Corner Brook on the west coast of Newfoundland, the island of Newfoundland. And this is called Wabana Kitchen Party. This is the fingering weight. And then this one is DK. It is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And this is the DK version of the Wabana Kitchen Party. Just gorgeous. So I'm going to be knitting some family members' hats for Christmas. And hopefully, those family members I know are not watching this podcast, so I'm fine to say that. The fingering weight, I think I'm going to be knitting another couple sweaters for these for the same family of that has a new baby. I think these I'll use the same pattern. So I'm really pleased with those. Everybody was so sweet and generous at the retreats, and one of the ladies, Linda, who came all the way from Montreal for the retreat, gave me this gorgeous project bag that she made herself. Isn't that awesome? It's a beautiful bag. I love the fabric. Linda didn't think that she did a very good job with this bag, but she did a wonderful job with this bag. And there were some treats in it. There was some chamomile tea. There was some gorgeous opal self-striping yarn. Look at those colors. Amazing. And Linda knows me well. Chocolate. I haven't eaten this yet. The first weekend, one of the lovely members gave me a, sorry, I've got just a second now. Got a notification come up there. That distracted me. One of the participants, hi Doreen, gave me this beautiful pot of jam, and I'd show you that, but it's all gone. And it was rhubarb jam, and it was delicious. And we may do a jam exchange at the next Knitlantica, at the first Knitlantica weekend next year, if I can manage to organize that. That's how good the jam conversation was at Knitlantica. So that is almost it for this. But one thing I wanted to do, September is my Podiversary anniversary, and I haven't had the opportunity before now to offer a prize to my lovely, lovely subscribers and viewers of the Four Boys and a Girl Knitting podcast. I so appreciate you. This has been, starting a podcast has been a wonderful, wonderful gift to me over the past 3 years. I've made so many wonderful friends who have become close family friends. And I can't believe the luck and the blessings that have been granted me through this community. So what I wanted to do was, I was down at just before the last retreat, I was down at Wool Trends. Hi, Deirdre. Which is one of my local yarn shops, and I picked up this Fleece Artist Cottage Sock yarn, and it is in the colorway Signal Hill. So this is a skein of yarn specific to Signal Hill, St. John's. So you're not going to find this anywhere else. It is beautiful, and it's on their cottage sock, which is 80% merino, 20% nylon. And there are 382 yards, 349 meters on this skein. So you could do a nice shawl, a one skein shawl, like the Close to You shawl, or maybe the souvenir shawl. Those are two one skein patterns I can think of. Or a lovely pair of socks, or some mittens or gloves, or a sock head hat. So many options. So if you're interested in winning this, thank you to you, skein of yarn. Write in the comments below something about, just say yarn, something to do with yarn. If you use the word yarn in your comment somewhere, don't say giveaway, please, or anything like that. But if you use the word yarn, I will be able to use the algorithm, the YouTube comment algorithm, and pick out your comments and send that off to a lucky winner. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to any participants from Knitlantica who are watching this in particular. I had a wonderful, wonderful couple of weekends with you. It was absolutely fantastic. I'm looking forward to next year. I can't believe I have to wait a year to see some of you again. Some of you I'll see before then, but a lot of you I won't see for another 12 months. So I'm really looking forward to that. Next year, there's still room for a few more people, so tell your friends, tell your family. We'd love to host you here in Newfoundland and Labrador on Bell Island. And if you have any questions, just shoot me an email at the email listed below, the email address. I'm on Instagram at Fourboysandanlgirl if you're interested in finding me there. And if you are interested in the retreat, there is a Facebook group called Under Knitlantica that you can also request to join. You do have to make a request. I have to approve you because it's a private group. But other than that, we'd love to have you over there as well. So take care. I hope to see you again very, very shortly because after the retreats in September, things kind of calm down and go back to normal. So I should be able to podcast more regularly. So take care. It's been great to share everything with you. And I hope you get some time this week and over the next week and a half, however long it takes me to do another podcast, to do some crafting of any form that makes your heart happy. Take care. Bye.